folks, how's it going? It's 2026 already. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you're new here. My name's Lottie, this is Fish People Music, and this is my new guitar. Yeah, I totally didn't need it, and I kind of have to sell one of my other ones to justify and offset the cost of it, because I'm far too small and weird a YouTube channel to get any sort of sponsorship. But anyway, yeah, isn't it gorgeous? I mean, actually I can see on the preview, all you can actually see on it is how reflective it is, and look at that really dodgy chandelier. It was here when I moved in and I love it. It is the best and the worst, but also the best. And that's my camera light. But yeah, Yamaha APX-600. I actually go sort of way back, like vibes wise, I suppose, with the APX, because way back in the day when I was a teenager, I'd go to this pub in South Oxfordshire, and third Wednesday of every month they'd have a folk night, and I actually bought my first acoustic guitar to take there. It was a Fender Dreadnought, which lasted a long time, but I think I've talked about it before in previous videos. It's now just a wall hanger because it can't take the string tension anymore. But one of the people that I went with was my friend Kerry, and she had a gorgeous brown burst Yamaha APX, and ever since then I've kind of always had a bit of a kind of wanting for one. When I was idly browsing guitar sales sort of just before the new year, this thing caught my eye. It's the modern APX. It's the 600 in Oriental Blue Burst, very glossy as I've said, although the neck is perfectly satin finish and there's no drag on it. It's just gorgeous. So yeah, I was like, is my rosy-eyed view, or rose-tinted view of my friend's APX and that time that I loved, does that affect how I see these guitars? Are they actually any good in 2026, given that it's effectively like a really old model now? There have been some upgrades over the years, and I'll go through that. But honestly, yeah, it is. As I've mentioned, you know, I have to pay for it myself, and I'm more than happy with it. It's an absolutely gorgeous guitar to play. It sounds wonderful, and it's full of cool little stuff. Like, there's a little bit of vegetarian guilt because, you know, do the least harm and all that, but abalone, I don't know if you can see that without the lights getting in it, but abalone inserts in the sound hole rosette and in the dot markers, and also in the headstock inlays. It's a really nicely made guitar, built in Indonesia, which is, I don't know, most of Yamaha's sort of less prestige stuff seems to be made in China nowadays, so I'm not sure why these are still made over there, but no, whatever. Spruce top. They say it's tone wood body based on what tone woods are most readily available at the time of manufacture. Apparently it's an environmental thing, which is interesting, because does that mean that, like, this is a December 25 model? Will that sound slightly different to a February 26? And should I buy more to find out? So it sounds happy. I don't know if that comes across or if I'm making any sense, but it sounds like a happy to be played instrument. When I first got it out of the box, I just loved it, and I worked a lot over Christmas and New Year, and when I was at work I was just thinking about getting back to playing it. You know, I'd get up early in the morning and play it and stuff. It's not exactly as it left the factory. I've got a little tiny turtle hanging here, and I've replaced the strings. They were 12s, and I've replaced them with a set of Elixir NanoWeb 10s, because I'm a wuss and I don't like really heavy string gauges. We've got steel frets, rosewood fingerboard, lovely binding, like top and bottom all the way around. It's honestly, the build quality is easily equal to guitars that I've got that are twice, 3 times the cost. This binding is probably better than my Pro Series Jackson that I got on the neck alone, you know. The tuner's beautifully smooth, wonderful ratio, just everything is good, you know. Everything about it is just how you want it. It doesn't feel like you've made a compromise anywhere, or they've made a compromise anywhere. You know, the neck finish is super smooth and feels gorgeous. The tuners, again, super smooth, great ratio. The fingerboard just plays gorgeously. Frets are steel. I would have preferred nickel, but you know, whatever. They're still lovely frets. There's no sharp ends. There's no raised frets. It's just from the box fantastic. So yeah, slightly thinner than standard body, slightly smaller than standard as well. Apparently the sound hole is this shape because it is better suited to smaller guitars and it helps balance the sound out. I can't say if the physics holds up, but I know that to my ears it does actually sound really nicely balanced. It's, well, you know, it's sort of it's articulate, it's everything rings out nicely, and there's nothing unwanted, there's no boxiness to it. Some smaller guitars sound boxy. This just sounds joyful. Like I said, I love it. I love it. So yeah, other features. Really nice electroacoustic system. Under the bridge is basically the same as any other piezo system, but not. So instead of having one long piezoelectric transducer, there's actually 6 transducers, one under where each of the strings would go. Apparently that reduces crosstalk and sounds great. What I will do actually is, when I give you some examples of how it sounds, or some further examples of how it sounds, what I'll do is record the piezo out as well as the microphone, and then sort of either blend between the two or something, so that you can hear how differently they sound. Something I wasn't expecting was that every electroacoustic I've ever had needs a 9-volt battery to run. This, bizarrely, 2 AA's. I guess, you know, as technology moves on, things need less power because they're better designed, but yeah. So certainly a lot cheaper to keep spare batteries in my gig bag. And that just pops in here, a little push button to open it. Just fits nicely, unobtrusive, out of the way, it's great. And then we get onto the preamp itself, and this is really cool. 3-band EQ with a gain knob, built-in tuner, which is actually quite bright, easy to read, and quick. But the really cool thing that I've not seen on other acoustics, especially at this price point, is this knob here, which is a center frequency adjustment. So when you boost or cut the mid-range, this is actually what the center frequency of your mid-range of your EQ is, which is brilliant because it just helps you further dial in that tone on stage. But it's a really nice little little addition that makes a lot of sense and helps it sound cool. But for this demonstration, I think I'll just leave everything set at 12 o'clock and the middle frequency set to the middle. So yeah, oh, that's something I forgot to mention actually just before I'm plugging it in. The plug, it's one of those jack sockets in a in the strap button, and yeah, I've moved my my frog strap onto this. But yeah, so that's, I think that's kind of cool. I've never had a guitar like that before. Just another little thing that's just so neat about it. Yeah, you know, I might as well have titled the video, "This is the best guitar in the world ever for the time being, ... part 3. You know, what can I say? I love it. I really do. It's a guitar that you want to play, and you, when you're not playing it, you think about playing it, and it's inspiring and exciting. Probably shouldn't have bought it. Absolutely 100% glad that I did. Yeah, so I'm going to plug this in, and then be back in just a sec. I love it. I hope that it sounded as good on the microphone as it did in the room. And I mean the guitar, not the playing. You know, I think it's a really special guitar, and I don't know, I think, like, for as long as I can remember, Yamaha have always been the, oh, they make great guitars, but do you really want to be seen playing one? Like the Pacifica. You know, if you had the choice, certainly back in the day, between a Squier Strat or an Epiphone or a Pacifica, realistically, the Yamaha was the best guitar. You know, solid bodies instead of laminates, better electronics and everything, you know. But, I don't know, they don't have the same swagger as playing a Fender or a Gibson or Epiphone even, I guess, you know. But yeah, these are just, I don't have the superlatives to describe how fun this is to play. It makes you want to be a better musician, it makes you want to play, it makes you want to go out there and do it. You know, I am so looking forward to this year's festival season, because I am going to be in those sessions like every evening, because this thing just, it gives you a confidence, it's just so well made. And the thing is, we haven't talked about the price, and it's not cheap, but not crazy expensive. I think currently Yamaha are doing it, if you order it from their London shop, I think until the middle of February or second week in February or something, they're doing £50 cash back and free delivery. So I think it's £309 I spent on this. There's that £50 cash back, which makes it a little bit easier to stomach. And also, yeah, I am selling another one of my guitars. But honestly, if you gave this to me and told me it was a £500 acoustic, I'd actually quite believe you, you know? Yeah, the APX has been around for decades and it's still punching way above its weight, and yeah, I'm not going to get myself another acoustic for a long time, if ever, because this is the tits. Anyway, enough of my rambling. It's like 5 o'clock in the evening now, I think. Yeah, actually it's 10 to 6, which means I'm going to go and put my tea on and probably brew up. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like the video, there's like a button for that. If you dislike the video, I guess there's a button for that as well. Apologies if you didn't like it. Feel free to comment and all that jazz. Share. I believe there's a hype thing now. Yeah. Again, thanks for watching. Here's to another year of, and I say this every time I upload a video, but here's to being a little bit more consistent in my upload schedule, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.